If I had a magic wand and I could instantly make every tennis player better at one specific situation and strategy, it would be what to do when a lob occurs in doubles. Now, this video is courtesy of Intentional Athletics on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to their awesome channel. I've put their link in the description below. So let's watch the point and then we'll analyze it. Now, in full disclosure, I have probably made this exact video 3 dozen times, but it's needed because I see videos like this on the internet and I'm like, all right, on YouTube. So I'm thinking, all right, it's obviously needed that I have to keep making these videos. All right. It's really simple. What are we talking about here? We're talking about a lob in doubles. You'll see the team on the other side switch, right? We got this topspin lob down the line and the team on the other side switches. And the question then is, where should this team go? Where should the lobbing team go? And the answer is immediately put their toes on the service line. This is what happens. Please, if you play doubles, send this to all the players you play with. Don't send this to the people you play against because they'll get better at beating you. So do not do that. Only send this to the players who you play with. When you hit a great lob in doubles, what you don't want to do is stay back at the baseline as the person who hit the lob and have the partner get tight to the net. That is not what you want to do. But that's what happens here with this team. And what ends up happening with one person back and one person really tight to the net, neither one of them can handle the shot that's about to occur. What shot is going to occur, you ask? A lob. When we lob, we tend to get a lob back. Well, when you're really tight to the net, it's easy for the lob to go over your head. And when you're far back behind the baseline, the lob can't be hit as an overhead. So you want to put both players on the service line, or I say toes on the service line, just to make sure you don't creep in too far. And it makes sure that you keep a lot of the court in front of you and you can hit an overhead. Watch what happens. We zoom in here. There's a lob right over. This is Scott right here. I think he owns the channel, by the way. Where I got this video. So thanks, Scott, for letting me use your videos. Again, subscribe to Intentional Athletics. But with Scott this close to the net, it made it very easy for the opponent to lob over him. If you notice where this ball is landing, it's landing smack dab in the middle of no man's land. All right. So if we just take it to about here, this is where the ball is over the service line, right? And then the ball travels to no man's land. So I would say right there, the ball's going like this. And here, I mean, he could easily hit that ball. If he would have put his toes on the service line, he could have taken one step back and absolutely crushed an overhead to this half of the court. Why? Because you want to hit overheads to the side of the court where the person closer to you is standing because they have less time to react. Now, this player who hit the great lob, he stays back too. And so what ends up happening is you have 2 lobs that occur, and the players who hit the lobs stayed back at the baseline. You have to immediately move to the service line when you hit a great lob, expecting a lob back. That's what happens here. A lob again, player in orange hits an overhead. I think he frames it a little bit, kind of shanks it into the corner. Now, we talked about what to do when you hit a lob. Let's talk about when you're the team who is lobbed. So let's take the player in orange. Player in orange, ball goes over his head, and they're obviously going to have to switch. Well, when you switch, what you want to do is move back diagonally. So the baseliner goes over, right, to get that lob, and he's going to lob it back. But the net player, the player in orange here, he's going to have to move back diagonally. What I teach is go at least to no man's land, and you can go all the way back to the baseline if you want. The reason is you're better off going back diagonally and having Scott and his partner, Ryan. Hey, that's my name. Nice name. I didn't even notice that, by the way. So we would have Scott here. We would have Ryan, who hit the great lob, right? They would both be on the service line. So good thing, I'm not sure if that's Claudio or Ernesto, but one of them would have to go back at an angle, right? The guy in orange would have to go back at an angle to the baseline, because what if Ryan and Scott were both on the service line in the right spot? Then the partner would lob it up, and both of them would just crush overheads at the player in orange as he switched. Now, the player in orange as he switched, he does go back a little bit, but to about the service line. So I would want him to go all the way back, prepared for Scott and Ryan to be in the right spot. Now, when the partner lobs and Scott gets the ball over his head, that's when we should see Scott move back to about here, preparing for the opponent who just lobbed to come up to the service line. The player in orange to stay on the service line, expecting the guy in the, oh, that's Ryan, never mind, expecting Ryan to lob it up. And then good thing Scott moved back diagonally, because the two players on the other side who went to the service line, who are going to hit 90% of any lob that Ryan hits with an overhead, because they can go back a little bit, they can run forward, they can get every type of lob. They're going to nail this thing at Scott. But watch where Scott goes. Scott stays up when he switches. So he stays up. This is a huge opportunity. This is what you typically see in doubles. Net players move laterally when they get lobbed. That is a huge opportunity for the other players to quickly put their toes on the service line and then have a target when you get that ensuing overhead, to have a target to this half of the court, and the player in Scott's position would have no time to react. Now, the player in orange was a little too close to the net, but he does go over to his partner's side to at least hit the overhead. Now, you'll even see right here, Scott does not back up. He needs to. He needs to back up, because if this ball gets absolutely obliterated at his face, he could really get hurt. So in this scenario, he's got to back up. You'll even watch that Scott turns. He's like, uh-oh, I'm getting out of here. And he just kind of bails, right? Like a matador, just like, ole, like he's trying to get out of the way of the bull coming right here. So we would want him to switch. But the idea is so simple. When you lob, and let's use this lob right here, when you're this player and you lob, you and your partner put your toes on the service line. And when you are lobbed in Scott's position, and Ryan, your partner, is going to go over and get it, please move back diagonally in case your opponents do the right thing. And if they don't, then you can always go back forward again, but you're better off preparing for the worst and hoping for the best. Now, if you want to win more doubles matches, then check out the new rules of doubles by Fuzzy Yellow Balls. Will Hamilton teams up with Craig O'Shaughnessy, the leading stats guy in the world for what's working on the Pro Tours and what's not, and he's sharing this info with you, the recreational player. To check out the new rules of doubles, just grab the Fuzzy Yellow Balls app in the description, or wait till the end of the video when the link will pop up on the screen. And if you're looking for people in your local area to play matches against or practice with, maybe you want to find a local league at your level, or you'd like to find a coach who's close to you who can help you with your game, then use my link for Play Your Court. And it's playyourcourt.com/2minute tennis. When you use my link to sign up, you get 50% off. So click right here to grab the Fuzzy Yellow Balls app and send this video to your doubles partner. You work on these strategies, there's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.